Silk Road, which prospered as the busy route between European and Asian culture. A lot of people's dreams once travelled through that endless desert which continued onto unknown lands. The year 2000, the 21st century is in sight. Once again, dreams are gathering at Silk Road. Western China, Xinjiang Uyghur Zhizhichu, which covers the largest area in China. The first Silk Road International Independent Rally will be held in this vast landscape. The Japanese participants have arrived at the capital, Urumqi, and are reunited with their vehicles that were shipped from Japan earlier. For the duration of this long rally, they will entrust their lives to their vehicles. Tomorrow they will head for the desert. The first Silk Road International Independent Rally is a bike and car rally open to the general public. Over 15 days, the participants will make one lap of Taklamakan Desert, the world's second largest desert, vying to be the fastest over 4 race sectors. The total length of the course is over 4,000 kilometers. The briefing session the day before the start of the rally. For the majority of the participants, this rally is their first. Explaining the route is the sole promoter, Mr. Masatsugu Narita. The Silk Road International Independent Rally evolved 8 years ago from Mr. Narita's dreams.
やはり現在ある国際ラリーというのは世界各国の自動車メーカーとそれに雇われたプロがね本当に熾烈な競技を行っていると。そこに、普通の民間レベルで参加しようとしても費用が膨大でとてもその2000万近い費用というものを払えないと。やはり求めるものは1、2というよりもそこに集まって民間レベルにおいて真の国際レベルの、交流ができると。だから完走することに意義ありでそういうふうなラリーを作りたいと。
Mr. Narita, who lives in Amagasaki, Hyogo Prefecture, works as a driving instructor for people with a license, but who never drive. In his 20s, he worked moving large amounts of money as one of a team of businessmen. He says that was when he experienced both success and failure. Since then, he has been looking for that something money cannot buy. That something was adventure. In 1990, he set foot into China's Taklamakan Desert for the first time. Drawn in by the vast desert, Mr. Narita thought about making it a place where the average Joe could run freely. One of the answers was a Silk Road International Independent Rally. However, Mr. Narita had no experience with rallies.
時間を大切にしようと考えて自分に対して正直に今一番何をやりたいかと。じゃあこういうふうなものをやってみたい。そこからものが起こったんです。
This was the beginning of the challenge to achieve one man's dream. Mr. Narita visited the desert every year to negotiate with the Chinese side, to study the topography and weather conditions, and to test the course. He drove well over 100,000 kilometers through the desert and says that at one stage he was convinced that he would die there. He fell victim to the 1995 Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake. There were times that he could barely make ends meet. But Mr. Narita did not give up his dream. In 1997, the Chinese government granted the difficult-to-obtain permission to hold the rally. In 1999, Mr. Narita opened a small secretariat in Amagasaki, Hyogo Prefecture. The secretariat is staffed by 5 volunteers who support Mr. Narita's dream. This is the first time any of the staff have promoted a rally, and there are times when they are totally lost. One of the staff members, Mr. Yamamoto, has accompanied Mr. Narita into the desert. When he is not working, Mr. Yamamoto is at the secretariat doing all the administrative work.
体的にはもうちょっとめちゃくちゃな生活ですね。普段の生活がもうなんか睡眠時間が2、3時間の生活とかなってまあここまでできるもんやなというのはよくわかりましたけどね。
In the evenings, Mr. Narita cooks dinner for his volunteer staff, conveying his appreciation for all their hard work. They sit and talk over dinner about the dream. Mr. Narita wants to make the most of this time. As the new year began, Mr. Narita was busy recruiting participants for the rally. Briefing sessions were held in Tokyo and Osaka for people interested in participating. The rally was also given extensive media coverage. Once again, Mr. Narita visits China to hold briefing sessions in Beijing, Shanghai and Guangzhou with the travel agency from Xinjiang. The travel agency from Xinjiang also supports Mr. Narita's dream and is working together with him on the project.
这个问题我们已经讨论了很多年了，包括和成田先生。这个地方呢是资源很丰富，这个范围又很大。我们认为在中国呢，在所有的省份中是最具有这个搞这种形式的拉力活动的一个最好的一个地区。
那对不能参加这个正式的拉力赛的，有爱好这样的民间拉力赛，这样有一般参加这样的拉力赛的旅游者呢提供方便，使他们得到一种享受。
The Secretariat is busy every day doing public relations work, but the number of entrants is below the target of 30 vehicles. If they do not reach the target, the rally will not break even. Even though Mr. Narita is fretting, the August 3rd deadline is quickly approaching. Today is the deadline for applications. The number of participating vehicles is 3 cars and 8 motorcycles, nowhere near the Secretariat's expectations.
第1回は、今年はね、台数は少ないけどきちっとしたものを実行して、だから僕の考えとしてはこれは始まりだと考えています。第1回目は。
For the participants, the rally has already begun. Servicing his motorcycle at a neighborhood bike shop is Mr. Kashiyama. one of the participants in this Silk Road rally. Mr. Kashiyama participated in last year's international bike touring, but this is his first rally.
Last year, Russian rally に出て、で楽しかったんで、また今度もラリーっていうか出て思いっきり走りたいな。やっぱりパリ高に出て優勝したいなって。
Mr. Kashiyama's dream is to enter the Paris-Dakar Rally. Every month he puts a little bit away so that one day he can afford to enter. His dream has just begun. This is an off-road race of speed on an unpaved course. Mr. Nitta, who promotes off-road races around Kansai, is also participating in this rally. He runs a bike shop in Osaka.
今までバイクだけでずっとやってきたんで、どの程度その自然の中で自分が、体力も当然のことだし、バイクっていうのはそういう自然の中でどのようにあれできるのかなとか、また、バイクが潰れた時に、自分がの力でね、どの程度対応できるのかなとか、そういうのを試すいい機会じゃないかなと思ってますね。
全然違う世界見てきたりして、違うお友達とお話ししたらね、ほんならもう自分が全てよしと思ってたのがちょっと違ったなとか、思ってもらえる時があるんちゃうかなっていう期待もあって、
悪くなってんねん
本人はそう思ってるけど、もう丸くなってんのお腹だけみたいな。
Mr. Nitta, who knows the good and the bad of bikes, wants to enter this rally to see what his new bike can do. Mr. Masunaga is a bike-loving president of an air conditioning company in Hyogo Prefecture. Another rally participant.
海外行かさせてもらえてツーリングもできるのは社員のおかげですわ。
Mr. Masunaga found time in his busy schedule as president to participate in this rally with his new bike. He has always dreamed of riding the Silk Road with just his bike and his helmet. In 1995, he was planning on touring the Silk Road.
Tenzan-Nando、シルクロードとは書いてない。Tenzan-Nando、シルクロードだけど、そのツーリングへそうあるいうこと、これ行こうということを決めてて、ね、震災でドバーンと来てしまったから、ね、それでもう行けんようになってしもて、だからあれやね、一つのなんやけど、自分の人生の中で一つの区切りのがつくんちゃうかなと思うね。
This time, Mr. Masunaga is entering with his son, Yoshiaki. Yoshiaki has traveled overseas on bicycle. He is now going to get his father to teach him how to ride a motorcycle. Father and son going together to the Silk Road of their dreams. They are eagerly awaiting their departure day. One month before the rally, Mr. Narita arrives in Urumqi, the starting point of the rally. He is busy with meetings finalizing details of the rally with the Chinese Secretariat. This is also the first time the Chinese side is organizing an international rally.
今回のそのタクラマカン、ウイグル語で言えばですね、入れば出られないという、厳しいところなんですけれども、万全にですね、もう調査をしておりました。もちろん途中はですね、その厳しい環境によって、例えば宿泊の施設とか、砂にはまっちゃうとかですね、そういうことは出るかと思いますけれども、それも一つの、楽しみじゃないですか。
Mr. Narita enters the desert to check the course before the beginning of the rally. He is checking each course sector and deciding on markers over the period of a month. He aims to create a course which all participants can complete. October 18th, 2 days before the start of the rally, the participants arrive in China, overflowing with their dreams of Silk Road. A dream that began 8 years ago, and the dreams of the participants will soon become a reality.
精神的に強いなんか大きなインパクトをね、参加される人とか、現地でいろいろこう努力される人とかね、そういう人を通じて、すごい大自然の中やし、なんか自分がプラスして持って帰れるんちゃうかな。
多分結構それなりにトラブルあると思うんですけど、それはそれで楽しもうかなと。年重ねていったらますますそういうことはしづらくなってくるんで、大体今こういうチャンスがあるって言ったら、とりあえずは飛びついて後のことはそれから考えようかなと。
やっぱり自分のして自由であることがいいと思う。だから今度も砂漠も俺も自由だと思うよね。基本的にはそういうような自由に走りたいなと。
全然私のラリーっていうものが分かってませんから、もともと行き当たりばったりですか。なんとかなるだろうとなんとかしようと。
いつかその広々としたね、草原っていうか砂漠っていうか、そういうとこを思いっきりすっ飛ばしてみたい、そういう夢がずっと持てたんですね。
Everyone's dreams that have been locked up in their hearts will gather in the desert. "11 cars and 8 bikes registered, a total of 30 participants, a staff of about 40 people. This is the first international independent rally to be held in Jinjiang, Uyghur Zhejiu, China. 10 a.m. Everyone's tension is at its peak.
各位朋友、各位选手、新民界的朋友们，早上好。2000年新疆丝绸之路旅游国际民间旅游拉力赛出发仪式现在开始。出发。
The participants head off from the township of Urumqi with the noisy sound of engines. 15-day heated contest has begun with Silk Road as the backdrop. Behind them, they are traveling to the starting point for the first sector, Aksu, 1,200 kilometers and a 3-day drive away. There is already trouble. A bike rented in China has already stopped running. Mr. Nitta, the bike shop owner, takes a look at the engine straight away. He is out of his element here, but he has to fix it with what he has got. The rented bike is running again, thanks to Mr. Nitta's skill. There are car teams who were formed with the Secretariat's help. Mr. Machida's team is one of them. Mr. Narita wanted as many people to participate in the rally as possible. He wanted to make it one where people without cars or cars without full teams could participate. So he helped get teams together. Mr. Narita got together teams who were looking for people and held a social gathering.
町田と申します。私も4人でぜひ参加したいなと思っておりますが、車がないので、ぜひお仲間に入れていただきたいと願っております。
That is how 2 such teams were formed. July, just before the application deadline, the 3 members of Mr. Machida's team get together for the first time. 3 colliding opinions, but they all have the same dream, to take part in the rally. They decided 1 week ago to enter with a car rented in China. Mr. Machida works for a company in Osaka. This is his first rally, but with his characteristic cheerfulness, he is like a natural team leader.
喧嘩もするかもわかんないけど、喧嘩したら前に進まないから、お互い腹も立つことあるんだろうけども、表面上はにこやかにしてね。でもそういうのってまた面白そうじゃない。
Tomakomai, Hokkaido. Mr. Ichijo, who will be part of Mr. Machida's team, manages a convenience store with his wife.
おじさん3人で行くっつうのどういう風になるんだか自分自身でも興味あるしどういう風になるんだか行ってみなければわからないっていうところはありますよね
私と結婚してからシルクロードっていう話はもう何度も出てましたからね。やりたいことやって悔いがなければどこでどうなってもそれはもう仕方のないことで本人それでよかったらいいんじゃないですか
Another teammate is Mr. Sasaki, an engineer from Chiba Prefecture. He is interested in outdoor activities like yachting. He likes enjoying what nature has to offer. He decided to enter the rally even though he is unsure of the use of a rent-a-car.
みんなかなりなんていうか人生経てきてる人なんでね、まるっきりの子供じゃないし、まあ極限までいけばちょっとこうどうなるかわからないけれども、そういうような極限を考えないで普段であれば自分を 抑えて、そんなに抑えることもなくいけるんじゃないかなと思ってますね。よくみんなでじゃあ今度何々しようねって言ったら今度とわけはないよとかいう話があるんで、別に初回だからって頑張ってるわけじゃないんですけども、いいチャンスだなぐらいで。
The day before they leave Japan, Mr. Machida's team are out at a Japanese pub. This is the second time they have met. They have come together for this rally. They have different backgrounds and personalities, but they share a common goal: to drive through the desert. A rally can be harsh on bike participants. Mr. Narita wants to make the rally easier for them. Mr. Ogaki, who could not ship his bike from Japan due to work reasons, is entering on a bike rented in China by the Secretariat. Living in Kobe, Mr. Ogaki has a laid-back personality. He uses any free time he has to repair his earthquake-damaged home himself.
バイクは旅の足でね、何を使って移動するかという足としてのバイクだから、レース出て、何分で走ったとか1位になったとかそういうことは全然なくて、だから今回もみんな競争する人は前バーッと走るやろしね、その砂煙に巻かれん程度の後ろの方をトコトコっとこうカメラ担ぎながら写真なんか撮ったりしながら走ろうかなとは思ったんですけど、まあそういうことが許されるならばやけどね。
Mr. Ogaki treasures every encounter and is active in volunteer activities. For him, this rally is more about meeting people than speed. The slow rental bike might be just right for him. Mr. Yamaguchi, who has ridden in international rallies, decided to enter when he heard that he could ride freely through the Taklamakan desert of his dreams. He lives in Kitami, Hokkaido, and works in the fire department. He was prepared to quit his job to get time off the first time he entered an overseas rally.
タクラマカンってのはゴビ砂漠のこっち側のね、タリム盆地っていうんですか、そこにあるのは知ってたんですが、そこはもう人は絶対入らない死の砂漠だっていうに聞いてたもんですから、それも自分の好きなバイクで行けるなんて、これはちょっと後にも先にもしてもういい年かっぱらってるからね、これを逃したらもう行くチャンスは一生ないかもしれないな。みんなには迷惑かける、まあ分かっていても迷惑かけててももう行きたいですね、やはり。
The participants of this rally are all average people, just as Mr. Narita expected. The evening of the third day after leaving Urumqi, and the participants have arrived without any problems at the start of the first sector, the gateway to the Taklamakan desert. For Mr. Kashiyama, it is the first time he will race a sector of a rally, and he is a little nervous. The others are toasting with beer. The riders are riding around trying to get a feel for the course. happened in an instant. One rider is down. The fallen rider is Mr. Ota, who has had a lot of experience in overseas rallies. No matter how easy the course is for the average person to drive, this is an untouched desert. Letting down your guard for just 1 second can result in an accident. 3 broken ribs and a dislocated collarbone. But Mr. Ota has still not given up the race. The fallen bike will not start. Mr. Ota withdraws from the rally with the first course right before his eyes.
なんとかここへ立てたらだいたい僕のゴールみたいなもんや。こういうところで食べるから美味しいのかもしれないね。没事，日本朋友不会说点啥。Some say that retiring is also part of entering a rally. Tomorrow, the participants finally enter Taklamakan Desert. The first rally sector is 275 kilometers from Aksu to Nazatagu, along the Hortan River and through the mountain range that runs through the desert. The Phantom River, Hortan River. Melting snow from the Kunlun Shan range, which lies in southern Xinjiang Uyghur Jijichu, begins flowing down in spring to become the Hortan River, cutting across Taklamakan Desert. This flowing river supports much life in the dead desert. In the autumn, it once again disappears to become the Phantom River. The participants arrive at the start filled with the anticipation of driving through Taklamakan Desert. They are trying to suppress their anxiety. Bewildered by the Chinese-style start, the participants one by one are swallowed up by the desert. They drive up along Silk Road and through the Taklamakan Desert of their dreams, each enjoying it in his own way. One remembers the first time he got on a bike. Another thinks of the history surrounding Silk Road. Another desperately tries to reach the goal. Yet another bewildered by the desert. Each with his own thoughts, the participants are single-mindedly heading for the goal, experiencing joy and agony along the way. It is 3 hours since the start. The staff who went first have just arrived at the goal, Nazatagu. It is also the first rally for the staff who are preparing the goal. They had a few difficulties, but they completed it. Next is the base tent. One of the staff members said that it is the first time for them to see such a large tent. Of course, they do not know how to put it up. The staff see a bike appear as they were putting up the tent. It is Mr. Kashiyama. Next, following him through, is Mr. Yamaguchi. He was at the tail end due to a fall just after the start, but he overtook them all. The mud on the bike will be one of the memories of the rally. Without showing any signs of tiredness, they help the staff put up the tent. The other participants are still on the course. One participant is fighting desperately to get his tire out of the mud. He is stuck. Just 1 month earlier, the course was a rapidly flowing river. Even though it looks hard, there is still water under the surface. You cannot experience getting stuck like this in Japan. It might look rigorous, but in reality,
ここまで本当楽しいですね。これだと日本ではまず味わえるし、本当楽しみですよ。
The first car to cross the goal line is Mr. Lee from Shanghai.
Yeah.
He is very surprised to hear from the staff how fast the Japanese bikes were. Even though getting to the start of the first course exhausted Mr. Kobayashi, he has just crossed the goal.
Yeah, 辛かったもうなんでこんなことしたんだろうと思って最初だけですね楽しかったの最初の20キロぐらいかな
The other participants are coming through one by one.
なんダントツや向こう1時間40分も差ついてる車のさやね悔しいけど緊張してましたね緊張すごい緊張してたどうでした面白かったですハマった僕の運転で水の中
穴こぼにはまってもんだよな上のキャリー飛んでもたな太陽みんなそうやろないやろキャリー
The Shirafuji father and son team's new car is already riddled with scratches and dents.
軽いやつを
大丈夫ですか
Mr. Ota, who retired yesterday, is traveling with Mr. Nitta in his car. Supporting the participants, Mr. Narita also reaches the goal. Mr. Ogaki has found his way to the goal on his rental bike, riding at his own pace. The participants look back on today, and there is no shortage of things to talk about. It is after dark when the last participant reaches the goal.
Our staffはね、もう一生かってもうすぐもう水がどんどん湧いてきて、もう車べちゃバイク入るし、もう大変やって。拾い集めてきて、また入れる、またあかんわって。もう方法の手で。
この教育はみんな安全になんとかたどり着いたと、それが一番今回は良かったなと、今日までは。
The day's hardships and anguish are all now stories to laugh about.
Yeah,